Hey there. So you have an E36 era BMW, and your key doesn't light up anymore when you press the BMW logo. So you went out and you bought a new battery, and it still doesn't light up, and you want to be able to do this. Well, I just happened to fix mine, and I figured I'd get out the video camera and show you what I did in order to get it working. So you're going to need a couple things in order to do this. So take a trip down to Radio Shack. Before we go any further, you're going to buy a soldering iron if you don't have one already. This is a 1530 watt switchable. I think it was like $12.99. Maybe not even. I don't remember. You can get them for like $8 or $9 down there. Need some solder as well. And then you're going to need a new LED. Now I had a heck of a time trying to find one that would fit in here, that was the right voltage. What I did was I just bought a box of assorted, sorry about that, assorted LEDs. This was $2.50, and there's 20 of them in here. And you're going to get a whole mess of them. And we're going to talk about which one is right in a minute. Automatically, get rid of all these big ones. They don't fit in there. You need one of the small ones. So, there's a couple of them. I'll show you about that in a minute. So what we need to do is take the key apart. Try to do this so you can see what I'm doing, but I still have both of my hands to work with, so hopefully this camera will focus. Just get like a little screwdriver or something. You can even do it with a key to pop the battery cover off. Do that. Pop the battery out. If you don't have a battery in there, and I'm not sure if it tells you in the owner's manual, you need a 2025 battery. That's the number on it. It's like a little watch cell almost. I got this at Stop and Shop. It's like $1.99 for a 2-pack, I think. Okay. Now that we have the battery cover off, we have the battery out, we're going to need to pop the key itself apart. Okay. You can actually do this with your fingers. Let's see if I can get it open. Alright. Mine's been opened a couple times because I just tried to film this video and realized the camera wasn't focusing all that well, so I'm refilming it. So that came up a little bit easier than yours might, because I just did it a minute ago. But, so we got a couple different pieces. The bottom of the key, we have this little like circuit board thingy with the LED in it. On the top of the key, under the BMW logo, we have this little, I don't even know what you want to call it, this little like prong thing. What you need to do is replace this diode over here. And we need to find a suitable one in order to do that. So we'll get our like pack LEDs, weed out all the small ones. And what you're going to do is, these work with the long lead touching the positive side of the battery, which is the back of it over here. You get the positive side, is the back. The negative side is the flip side of that. There's an insulating ring that separates them in here. So what we can do is, see if I can do this with my fingers out of the way so you can see what's going on. You touch them, touch the LED there, and see how it lights up. That's what we want to make happen, but inside the key. And sit there and test these out. I mean, I don't know what you're going to find in your pack. Some of them are brighter than others. See how this one isn't quite as bright as that other one that I just lit up? Find one that you like. Some of them are different colors, they're different intensities due to different voltages and stuff, so yeah, that one's not too bad. The one that I actually soldered in here, I'm not going to solder in front of you in the interest of time, and because I already did it and after the fact thought of making a video. But I found the one that I like the best. It's a red one, it was the most intense, gives off the best light. So what you are going to do is, we'll pretend that this is the original diode. Get a little pair of wire snips or something like that. Get in here. Don't bother with messing around with trying to get the solders off of the board. You already have nice clean solders that go in. The standoffs are up there, and it's real clean. What I did was I just snipped the diode. I literally just went boop, like that and cut both of the leads, so I had the two standoffs sticking up there. You can do that, and then I hope you can see this. It's tough to tell on my little viewfinder on the camera whether or not it's going to be working. But got the new diode, and again, you want the long one to touch positive. I'll tell you about that in a second. I got it on here, And I anchored it there with the these little heatsink clips. Those help out. You can hold it with your hand too, as long as you're quick, so you don't burn your fingers with this thing. Put a dab of solder on each lead, and you're all done. So now, how do we know that we're getting the leads in the right direction? Because it only works one way. That, you can see, lights up. This way does not. Okay. So, if you look at this closely, you'll see how the battery goes in. The positive end is touching these two little prongs on the underside of here. And if you follow those prongs, see the solder? Let's pull it back so it focuses. It goes that way, okay, to this top one. So if I'm holding it in this orientation, I want the long lead that way. You want the long lead to touch the prongs that go to the positive side of the battery. And this is common sense stuff. You should be able to figure this out just by looking at it, even if you can't see it too well with the camera. But that's that. So you solder it in, long lead to the positive, and you're all set to put everything back together. So what we're going to do is get our little BMW logo, get the prongs, and this works just off of like spring action. So if you want to have it working nice and get a good connection, bend those back a little bit. Kind of hard to see what I'm doing here, but make sure that they're, can you see that? Make sure that they're sticking up quite a bit, so that the center over there isn't touching the battery by default. That's not what you want. Put it back in. And again, this is why we could not use the larger LEDs, because only the smaller one fits in there when the key goes back onto the other side. Just pop the thing in. We're ready to snap it back together if we got everything lined up. Here, it snap right back together. And pop the battery back in. And pop the battery cover back on. And we are good to go. So, that's that. Feel free to send me any comments if you have any questions, and if you are watching from the M3 board, feel free to send me a private message if you need any more information on this. Thank you for watching.